If you don't understand money, you will always struggle. Money is actually a tool, but many people don't understand how to use it properly. It is a tool, but you need to understand how to use it properly. What we call money is not actually what we know, it's not actually what we think it is. Money is a tool. Let's use a glaring example. Now, this is the francs CFA. This is currency, not money. This is currency. Now, money attracts currency. Money attracts currency. This is currency, not money. So when you have money, it becomes visible through currency. So that means a man who has money, no matter which part of the world he goes to, he will not have lack. But the man that has currency might have a need. Now, if what I have is this, the CFA, if I need to leave the zone that uses CFA into the zone that uses Naira, for example, what changes? Currency. But money does not change. What changes? Currency. So this currency will change from CFA to Naira. But then the initial thing that I have is money, because money is not visible. What is visible is currency. So if you have money, if you understand money, currency will follow. What people like Mark Zuckerberg, what people like Elon Musk, what they have is money, not currency. They don't have currency, they have money. So whatever currency they choose, their money will be represented in it. Whatever currency they choose, their money will be replicated into it. But what they have is money. So if we understand money, currency will come. So let's not learn how to bring about currency. Let's learn how to call money for money now to attract currency. This is the first thing you should understand. Money follows knowledge. Currency follows hard work. Money follows knowledge. Currency follows hard work. The people that make money are people that have financial knowledge. When you have financial knowledge, money follows you. But when you have physical ability to work, currency follows you. That is why when you have a currency, you spend it today, tomorrow it finishes. But when you have money, you spend and it calls for more money. Money calls for a currency. So financial knowledge is very important. It is very important you have financial knowledge. Financial knowledge will teach you how to derive money even in areas where nobody can derive. Now, there is a common say that when you get into a dry land where there is no water, what do? You dig a well. You dig a well. Now, the digging of that well is to have a constant flow of water. So you have created a constant flow of water despite the seasons. It is the same thing with money. When you get into an environment where there is no money, you create a system that generates money, financial knowledge. You create a system based on the environment. You look at the environment and you create a system that generates money, financial knowledge. When that system generates money, it can now become currency, because money is hidden in value. Currency is hidden in paper and metal. Money is hidden in value. So when you carry the value, no matter where you find yourself, currency will follow, because currency follows money and money follows value. So build value, and you will build value based on financial knowledge. When the financial knowledge comes, the currency will follow, because the money will be there. Financial knowledge. Secondly, solving problems is very necessary. Like I said earlier, you create a system as per the environment, and creating a system means solving a problem. When you become a solution to a problem, you create money. When you become a solution to a problem, you create money. When financial experts sit down and they look at people walking up and down, what they see is money moving up and down. Yes, because even the poorest human being will still bring out currency to afford something. Even the poorest human being will still bring out currency to afford something. So if you can become what they want to buy, definitely money will come to you. If you can become what they want to afford, you will become a source. If you can become what they want to afford, definitely money will come to you. So when you move into an environment, you scan the environment, you identify a problem. When you become a solution to the problem, money now becomes yours. Why? Because your mindset is not around adaptability in the sense of becoming okay with the fact that there is a problem, but no, becoming okay with the fact that in the midst of a problem, a solution should be birthed. So when you birth a solution, money comes. So birth a solution, money will come. You walk into an environment and you discover that everybody in that environment treks hundreds of miles to buy basic necessities. What do? Create a provision store. You get into an environment and you discover that everybody has difficulties in getting maybe vehicles to their disposal in order to go about their daily lives and all the like. What do? You create a transportation system. You get into an environment and you discover that everybody has difficulties in having access to internet, in having diseases. What do? You create a partnership with a networking system. And now you must not necessarily create a partnership by signing a deal with the network company itself. Of course not. You can buy a network system. For example, now we have a lot of people in this part of the country where I live. The cost of getting good internet network is so high. And what they do now is they want to get Starlink, and because Starlink is very expensive, it will cost like 300 and something thousands in francs CFA. Now that is about $540. Yes, about $540 plus. Now that is expensive for people to get. But now what did someone do? Got resources, bought the Starlink, and now is selling to people for a monthly subscription at a lower fee. It now says, okay, you pay 10,000 to get access to it for this number of days. He bought the subscription and is now selling and receiving the income. Now imagine that he spent 300,000 to buy that subscription. That should cover him for 1 month, and he's selling at 10,000, and 50 people buy that subscription for 10,000. That's 500,000. He has an extra 200,000 for no work done. That's an extra 200,000 for no work done. Why? Because financial knowledge, and he was quick enough to solve a problem. So it is not just enough for you to live in a community and just be okay. No, identify the problem in the community and you will be able to bring a solution which creates value, and the value now becomes a source of money to you. Yes, investment is what builds money. All right, investments is what builds money. There are people who sit somewhere, they don't stress, they don't need to work. Why? Because their money is working for them. Their money is working for them. In this part of the world where I live, we have what we call private sector education. Now, an individual opens up a school, an establishment, and employs a staff to work for him. He opens a primary school, for example, and he spends like 20 million to get that school established. Now, he is in his house with arms folded as a proprietor, or as a founder, as we locally call it, as a founder. He's in his house, arms folded. Everything goes well. At the end of the academic year, he has a turnover of over 50 million, 60 million. Some have a turnover of over 100 million. That their arms are folded. Now, who are those doing the job? The teachers are the ones doing the work, and he pays them a salary. That salary he pays them is not up to half of 1/4 of the profit he makes at the end of each academic year. Money is working for him. That's what we call investments. If you can invest, your money will work for you. If you can invest, your money will work for you. If you can put in effort in investment, your money will work for you. The problem we have is that we want to invest big when we have nothing. Start small. You cannot be trying to do an investment of 20 million when your bank account is below 500,000. You're not normal. Start small. Start investments at the level which you can afford, and be mindful of the fact that many people turn to take loans to do investments. Don't take a loan when you cannot recover from the shock in case it fails. That is why many people have cardiac arrest, high blood pressure, killing a lot of people, because they take a loan and at the end the business fails, and now they're unable to prepay the loan. They start thinking, excess of thinking, high blood pressure, cardiac arrest. It picks them off. No, you don't take a loan that is above your capability. You look at your assets, you look at your finances, it's not up to 20 million, but you want to take a loan of 40 million. Really, you're not normal. Start with what you have. Start with what you have. Start small and grow. Start small and grow. Think of the little investments around you. Don't think too far. Start small and grow. And the next thing which you should have in mind is that understanding money brings control. When you understand money, you control money. Yes, when you understand money, you control money. There are people who control money. They control how money works in an economy. They are the controllers of money. They decide what happens. There are influential people who, when they speak, their government listens to them. Why? Because they control the money of the economy. Financial wisdom. Don't forget now that financial wisdom is not education. Financial wisdom is not the ability to sit in the classroom and listen to a teacher. Of course not. Financial wisdom is hidden in the areas where we least expect. Financial wisdom is hidden in the things which we think cannot be of help. It's hidden in books, the books you refuse to read. It's hidden in media, that media you refuse to listen to, follow up to. It is hidden in the treasures of the earthen vessels. It is hidden in the trash. It is hidden. It is hidden. All you need to do is find an idea. Find an idea. Once you get the idea, you will explode. Once you get the idea, you will go further. When you get the idea, you will go forth in higher dimensions. That is the essence of understanding money. Stop chasing currency. Start chasing money. And how do you chase money? Create the value and the money will come. Create the value and the money will come. Create the value and the money will come. This is the professional mindset.